And what's up, everyone? I'm Jacob. I'm with the chef, Jason. I'm with Mick, the gambling Mick. I'm
Good
with
job.
the businessman, Darrell. And this is
Yeah.
right on point. So we're going to get right into it. This is a show for fans, by fans of sports and entertainment.
Yes,
And we're
sir.
just going to jump right into basketball because that's the hot topic going on right now. Kevin Durant made his debut yesterday with the Phoenix Suns, and he looked good. He had 23 points on 10 of 15 shots, and they beat the Charlotte Hornets.
I know
Facts.
it. And
Here
Yeah,
we
and it was a
go.
tough game. It was a tough game, but they
tough game.
It was a tough game, but they made it work.
Y'all
So,
here to y'all here
I
to hate
mean,
early.
Yeah, I know.
no hate, no
Y'all
hate. They
here to her
won.
early.
They won.
he hating.
Congratulations,
He
Kevin
hating.
Durant, on your debut. You beat the Charlotte Hornets. Does anybody want to start it off?
I'll start. I actually watched the
No.
game, so I'll start.
Oh
So
Okay.
yeah,
yeah,
nice, nice.
I
You
ended
watched the
up
game.
doing some last minute work, and I cast the game on my TV. So yeah, I seen bits and pieces, especially the fourth quarter. And I hear the hate. Oh, the Charlotte Hornets, blah blah blah. Last I checked,
I'm just
and
stating
last
facts.
last I checked, Kyrie and Luca are 1-4. I know we're gonna talk about that next, but so I mean, a win is a win. But anyway, so I watched the game, and like my takeaway is like KD's KD. No matter how much time he takes off, whatever, he's gonna come back. He's an automatic bucket, and he's one of the
hmm
few players that could fit in any offense because of his style and play.
Uh-huh.
Like
That's
Yeah.
true.
I watched the game. He was on a minute restriction, so like around the 6 minute in every quarter they just take him out or whatever the case may be. But they let him ride for the most part in the beginning and the end of the fourth quarter. So like yeah, him and Booker, that looks like a very good dynamic duo. Booker went
hmm
crazy. KD was extremely efficient. There was
Fact.
a point at the end of the third quarter. It was like a 6 point game. All the starters were in. They all came out and they brought KD in with the bench. KD just ran it up, hit like 9, 10 straight or whatever, and then it was pretty much not a game from there in the fourth. He's just a nuclear weapon. You put him on the floor, he could get buckets. He's not messing up the flow of the offense for the most part.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, KD's KD. The Suns are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. And I don't know, KD's like, that's the only player in the NBA, honestly, I will go out of my way to watch. I'm not going out of my way. Like, if they're on TV, I'm watching them, but I actually pulled up a stream
Uh-huh.
to
Nice.
watch. Just to, let me just see
Over
what this
Luca.
Suns game over Luca. I watch KD over. I watch more KD than I watch Luca. Mostly because I got cable and KD was in Brooklyn, so I just put on the Yes channel
Yeah.
most of the games or whatever,
yeah.
or whatever. So that's part of it too. But KD is my number one watching the NBA. Dude's amazing. I wasn't really rooting for anybody in the playoffs. I'm still kind of not, but I'm curious to see what they do in the playoffs and things like that. But yeah, KD is KD. What else can we say? I'll pass it off to whoever.
Uh,
Hmm.
if they do make the
Go ahead.
playoffs, I want to see them with the Clippers against the Clippers.
Against the Clippers, against Kawhi. If they did
Nah,
play the Clippers, who you got?
I might go with the Clippers. No,
yeah.
if
Uh,
Kawhi is healthy though, if Kawhi is healthy,
look,
I got
man.
Suns in
That's
six
a
in that series.
nah, I don't see that happening.
I would say this: if they played and Clippers lost, you got to blow them
No
up
facts,
because Kawhi Leonard's been there too long
but he
not
hasn't
to
he hasn't
get to a Western
yet.
Conference Finals.
So I don't know
One
about.
lit, yeah. Go go
What
go.
was that? Go ahead, Jay.
I'm saying you
Yeah,
should blow it up if they lose. But Kawhi hasn't had a healthy season with the Clippers yet. So I don't think you should blow it up.
But that's the thing. If he's not staying healthy and you paying him to win championships and be there, then you got to go. You're not doing nothing for them. That's what you got to go because you're not doing anything. So if that were to happen, if they played and he did lose, then you got to blow it up.
Okay. There you
One
go.
quick thing about the Clippers before we pass it to Darrell real quick. I just want to say
Mhm.
they were catching a little groove when they had Terrence Mann as the starting point guard. I seen some stuff on Twitter where like their offensive rating for like the past month or something with him, PG, and Kawhi in the same lineup was like the highest in the NBA or something crazy like that. So a lot of Clipper fans were like, "What the hell?" when they traded for Westbrook. And now they're 0-3 with Westbrook. That's not really that big of a sample size to freak out about Westbrook or that team yet, but that's just
Right.
something to consider too
I
about the
I
mean,
Clippers.
didn't even know that.
uh, it's a question mark for me on who I would choose. It's just like Nick said. I think the sample size, you don't have enough sample
From
to really like make a determination on who will win the series between Phoenix and the Clippers. Um, there's so many question marks for me. 'Cause, I mean, Jace talked about injury with Kawhi, but I can even throw KD in that same camp now. 'Cause
Good
he's
point.
been in and out, a couple times. I mean, we low key. I can't believe we forgot about the king of injuries in the postseason, which is CP3. So we didn't even bring him up.
Yeah.
He constantly gets hurt
Wait,
too.
I got a question for you about the KD thing actually,
Go ahead,
and I
bro.
want to see your face when I say this. So bring your face
this
down,
down.
bring your head down,
You can't see
because I
your
want to see your face. I can't see your face right now. I can't look you in
Me?
the eye.
Me?
Darrell, I gotta
Nah, he's
look you
talking
in
to
the
me. He's
Uh,
talking to me. He's talking to
Okay,
me.
so Darrell,
Yeah.
if KD is injured and the Suns lose the next 2 years, should the Suns get rid of KD? Like we're talking about them getting rid of Kawhi. Make it that
You.
could go for you
Oh,
too,
oh,
right?
you're saying like if he's hurt every like what
If
every season and there's no
yeah,
continuity.
if he gets hurt for the next 2 years, like say he gets hurt and misses out on the playoffs, should the Suns get rid of him?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that instantly. Yes. But the problem is, it's going to be at that point. It might be hard to get rid of him because if he's always getting hurt,
true.
there's going to be a question mark on how to get rid of him because he's going to be up in age. If you're talking about the next 2 years, he's going to be what right now he's like what 34. He's probably 35.
34.
He's probably low
34.
key 35, 34, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if he's always hurt, say 2 years later from now, he's going to be what 35, and he's still hurt. It's going to be probably hard to move him unless the Orlando Magic take him, but he will never go to Orlando. So, and I love to use them as the dumping ground, but but they can try to get rid of him, um, but I don't know what they'll get at that point in time. That's like a little too. It's too far in the future to kind of see like who will be out there for them to see if it will be a realistic option for them. It has to benefit. It has to benefit the Suns though, um, in some kind of way for them to actually get rid of him. So I mean, you're saying get rid of Kawhi now. I don't think you should get. I don't think you should get rid of Kawhi right now because he's younger than KD. I think he's like what 30. I think
He's
he's low
younger
key
than KD.
30. Isn't he like 32?
Yeah,
I
it's
do
like
not.
31, 32.
31. Yeah, I mean he's around. He
32.
literally is like early 30s. Yeah, he's like 31, 32. I don't think you get rid of him.
31.
There you
He's
go.
31.
All right, I knew I saw his age at some point, but so yeah, he's like 31. So I don't think you get rid of him because like for some reason, here's why I say this because like every time, and I'm probably going to give the KD argument I said earlier. Every time Kawhi comes back, I keep thinking like because of all the time he missed, I'm like, oh man, he's probably diminished in some skill. I always come up
Mm-hmm.
with something in my head. Oh, he's lazy. He's lazy. He probably wasn't working on nothing, but he still comes back, dropping buckets. He may be a little shaky at first from time to time, but I think when he's shaky, he's hurt, and then he sits down for more time, and then when he comes back and he's healthy, oh, he's like lights on, and you're just like, what the heck? And then with KD, it's like, well, he just always comes back lights on. I could never, I could never really think of a time when he's like comes back and he's like struggling. He's always lights on. Um, so I think it depends on It's hard, but I guess I'll say yes. In the future, with contingencies. That's my answer.
If that series were to happen, Mick, who do you have like winning it? Clippers, Phoenix.
Um, I have I have the Suns winning it in six.
Yeah,
I have the
he said six.
Suns. Yeah, I have Suns winning that in six. I don't think the
He,
Clippers have. I don't think the Clippers. Not with KD on the team. If it was just straight the old Suns team and the Clippers, I might. I'd really be. It'll be pick 'em in seven for me. I'd probably go Clippers. But with this team, I don't know. I just think I don't know. I don't see the Clippers being able to handle Booker and KD. Then you
I'm
have eight and I mean though Mason Plumlee pick up that the Clippers got. That's kind of
I
decent.
would I would
But
I would I,
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna go because it's funny because usually me and Mick is on the same page at times, especially with KD picks. But like I think
yeah.
this time, I think I might fade KD this time. Not because of KD. I think it's because I think it's because the Clippers are a more flushed out team than the Suns. Like the Suns are very top heavy. I mean, yeah, they got Cameron
Top
Payne
heavy, yeah.
Mhm.
that comes off the bench, but I
Not
can't.
Peyton on thing now. He on. Oh, Cameron
Oh, you
Payne.
don't
I thought
Payne,
you meant
Cameron Payne.
Cameron Johnson. I thought you meant Cameron Johnson.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
Cameron Payne.
I meant Cameron Payne. King,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Payne. I think the problem is, oh my God! Ever since I seen Luka destroy Aiden, it's like I can't. Aiden has to like have a monster series to like win me back because he to me he's the weakest link. And I mean, some would say, oh, Chris Paul's the weakest link, but I'm
I
gonna
think I
go
got
eight.
Chris Paul as the weakest for me.
Yeah, and some people would say that. I think Chris Paul, his veteran leadership, won't make it the weakest link, but you could say, well, he might get hurt, so that could be a problem. And I think that's also another thing because like he might get hurt, so you need somebody to like handle the rock. And like, yeah,
Mhm.
you have Booker who can handle it. Yeah, you have
KD.
KD that can handle it, but then that's putting too much pressure on those two.
Mhm.
Whereas the Clippers, they'll have they'll have Russ handling it,
Mhm.
but
50 turnovers.
we all know, yeah, we all know, because I like Russ. He just we all know what could potentially happen when he has the ball in his hand late in the games, and this Kawhi, like Kawhi is, Kawhi is Kawhi, man. And, I've seen him go head to head with KD and give him trouble. That's like the one guy I've seen can give KD trouble sometimes here and there. But that was the past. This is now. It could be different. KD is probably like that was just a different me at that time, bro. Like
and,
I'm new and improved.
and
Like,
I feel
but
like they both have something to prove this
KD
playoff.
did beat him though when he was
yeah,
on
exactly.
OKC.
Yeah, exactly. He did.
Jay,
He
who
did.
would you get? Clippers, Phoenix. Who you got?
I'll go with the Clippers.
Clippers.
Yeah, and I feel like KD and um Kawhi both have something to prove this playoffs.
They
I
do.
agree.
So they
Oh
both got
yeah,
to
they
bring it.
do.
Like you got
I
to bring
agree
it.
with that. You know who
Yeah.
else?
Who?
Paul George. I think Paul
Well,
George
yeah,
and
Yeah,
Russell
of course.
Westbrook. They
of
got.
course he
I know
does.
we're gonna talk about that
Podcast
later,
P.
but
Yo, don't.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk. I got a lot to say about that. We'll talk about that
Yeah, I got
when we
some.
get
Yeah,
there.
I got a couple of things to say. I got some things to say for sure.
but
What y'all got to say? Let the man do his thing, man.
I
Yeah,
know
we'll get to it.
they not the
We
only
gonna get there.
teams that made move. Obviously, like the Dallas Mavericks made moves, and they try and start things up, and they can't decide who's the finisher, and they can't close games. Lakers came back, beat them by 27. They have
Hmm.
losses against Sacramento, a couple of other teams as well. I think they only have one win since getting together. So, like, what's your thoughts on the Mavericks? I'll start with the Mavericks fan, Nick. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm not gonna. I mean, yeah. Even with that, that is. I'm gonna give it more time. That is a small sample size with Luke and Kyrie so far. It's only been what 5 games. They're 1-4. There's been games Luka played and Kyrie didn't, and then games where Kyrie played and Luka didn't, and then I think they won a few of those or whatever separately. But there's starting to be chatter that and it's gonna be. I'm actually not gonna put all the blame on Kyrie, as much as you guys know how much I've disliked Kyrie
Oh yeah.
antics and whatnot the past few years. I'm not gonna put all of the blame on Kyrie here. There's starting to be a thing where people are like saying Luka has to somewhat learn how to play off the ball better, and I do kind of agree there's going to be adjustment. I'm not saying he's full blown James Harden, full blown like James Harden, where James Harden doesn't know how to play off ball at all. But like, it's going to be a little adjustment period where Luka has to, and even those catch and shoot attempts have to make those, but like hit a higher percentage on those. But I don't know. I'm not gonna overreact, but at the same time, I don't see that team doing a damn thing in the playoffs. I honestly don't. I
Nah,
think
they're
they're
not.
gonna fall to the play-in.
They're not. They're not
Because
gonna do
the main
anything, bro. I
problem
agree.
with that team, they have no defense, no front court. Like
They got no size, man.
like Powell, no size. You're gonna get bullied.
No
Powell
size.
is not a starter in the NBA. He's barely a bench player. Barely. Kleber's injured, and Kleber's not a starter in the NBA. He's a solid bench player. He's a good
Yeah,
bench
man.
player. He's a good like role player off the bench. They have no like. The, the, I know everyone's gonna pick on Kyrie or whatever, and I do it too to an extent. But I just think that trade in general was dumb because that wasn't like Kyrie. I mean, not Kyrie. Luka did need a number two, but at the same time, the roster in place at the moment, you need other things than a number two as well. So you don't even have the rest of the team built together to where, all right, all you need
It's
now
number
is a
two.
number two because they didn't make
Right.
enough moves. They didn't make enough moves, and the Christian Wood thing that didn't pan out because he doesn't play. He's good, but he doesn't play a lick of defense. So it's like you can't even play him in certain spots or whatever the case may be. So I mean, I mean, it doesn't look like a great match, but I'll give it more time. But at the end, the Mavs have a whole lot more problems than just them working together. That's ultimately gonna destroy them in the playoffs, most likely in the first round, or even in a play-in game.
I agree. I definitely agree with Nick. They they're not gonna they're not gonna do anything unless you're playing with them in my career, which I am. Yeah, because I'm currently in the Western Conference Finals. 2-0 with the Pelicans. You know, you already know. So me and Luca carrying things over there. So because I'm the closet Mavericks fan. So so I think they're not going to do anything. They're really not. I guess getting Kyrie was. I mean, as much as big, as much as big as like. See, I mean, I'm with him on that, but you have to hope that he actually wants to stay there. I actually hope he does that he wants to stay there,
There's no
and
way.
he actually
I
wants
don't
to
think
play
he does at
basketball.
all.
No way.
But he probably won't. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm going to stay there. After this season, my career. But
I think it goes to
Luka's a
whoever
beast.
gives him the most
He's a
money.
beast. I mean, yeah, of
That
course.
won't be
I mean, nah,
LA.
wait, could
Yeah, it won't be LA.
oh yeah. I was gonna say it's not gonna be LA. And I don't think he wants to play as much as Kyrie is like he's trying to be this like nice guy these days. And all brotherhood and stuff like that. I know deep down inside he doesn't want to play with LeBron.
Why you say that?
You think so?
Wait,
I
I
think
don't
he
think he wants to.
I think
I don't
that's
know
who he
about that.
wants to play with.
I don't think he does. Because if he really wanted to, why didn't he push to go there in the first place?
He wanted to. Then that's what's going to send him where he want to go after everything he did.
Wait, he wanted to go
Yeah,
there? I don't remember.
No, he wanted to
yeah,
go
he
there.
wanted to go there.
Oh,
There was a
okay.
whole thing.
Yeah.
He wanted to go
Then let's
there.
just
Oh
didn't want to
yeah,
tell him.
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Dude, I said,
You're
"Fuck
right.
you."
You're right.
even in
I'm still living in the past.
Even in the press conference, they were saying it's sad. Like he said a little slick
Yeah,
thing in the mass press, introductory
yeah,
press
yeah.
conference. He said a little thing where even though things didn't work out as planned, or
Mhm,
something along those lines, where
Oh
it's like, why are
yes,
you? Where it's like, why are you saying
mhm.
that? And
I think I
this,
posted that
Yeah.
in the chat, didn't
you
I?
might, you might have,
You might,
you might. It's
I
like, and
probably
it's just
did.
like, why are
Wow,
you
look at
saying that?
but one thing about I do think Kyrie will eventually go to LA, the Lakers. However, if he does, I think it's gonna mess up that team because right now that team has a good flow. Like I think this team, this direction of the Lakers, could could get to a Western Conference Finals. So
they have a good flow,
And
good
you
flow.
saw
How many
two
games did
games.
you
Now they got
watch?
to go for.
It's only
wait,
two
no, no,
games.
no, no, no,
Only
wait a
like two,
minute.
3 games happened.
Yesterday they beat the Thunder. The only
Ah,
loss
Without
recently,
Shy,
yo,
the only
without
loss.
Shy.
But the only loss recently they have is
It was
against
no LeBron.
Memphis. That team, that Lakers team, the nucleus they have, the young people they have, is pretty good. Like they
But
have
LeBron
some.
doesn't need help anymore.
Wait, what?
LeBron doesn't need help anymore.
let's not do this, guys. Let's not do this.
Okay, okay, okay.
All
All
right,
right.
we're not
Let's not do
gonna.
this.
Wait.
Sorry,
See, this is gonna get
sorry, that
into
slipped.
Yeah,
this
I'm
gonna
fighting.
get into a different topic.
I'm fighting
Don't
not
do it,
to
man.
join
Don't
in on
do it.
that.
All right. Well,
Stick to the Mavs.
Jay, let me ask you: do you got Dallas making the playoffs or playing?
Playing, yes.
Who me?
That, that's as
Playing
far as they go.
playoffs, no.
They're making the. I think they can make the play
The
in for
playing.
sure.
They'll make the play in
They're
100%.
Mhm.
All right.
The play in, it depends who they play, which will determine if I give them a win or a loss
yeah,
in both
that's
rounds.
yeah. There's a lot of
Mhm.
contingencies right now.
Who
Yeah,
can they
because
beat?
it's really wild right
But who
now.
can they beat if they make the play in? Who can they beat?
Portland.
Oh, I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this
Portland,
now. The
Utah,
Lakers. I'm gonna say this.
Portland and Utah not in
Lakers not
right
making the
now.
play in. They're done.
Utah is,
OKC.
Mhm.
Lakers season is done.
huh? What you said, bro?
The
Cut it
Lakers
out.
season is done. I'm saying
They gonna make
The
yo.
Lakers
They gonna
season is
make the
done.
playoffs. Cut it out. All
Nah,
right.
they're
They're
done.
done.
The Lakers season
But
is done.
LeBron, they just had about LeBron's status. They said that he's out for 3 weeks,
Mhm.
and AD, they said he could be returning by the end of the week. And you still saying it's done?
They gonna
Yeah,
make
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
think they're making the playoffs.
They said AD is pain free and he still didn't play yesterday. He has no pain.
Yeah,
And he
they're
still
done.
didn't play yesterday.
You can't trust that guy. You can't trust
That's
that guy.
why. And then another one you can't really trust. I think we overlook him too. Like D'Lo,
Facts.
he low key
Mhm.
sometimes be
At the
he be
wrong
getting
time
hurt too
too.
sometimes.
Oh, there's somewhat.
Wait,
Isn't this the next topic? The
yeah, yeah.
AD and
Mhm.
Bron? Because I have a take.
Oh.
Go ahead.
It's not about neither of those two guys you
Let me
said.
hear. Let's hear it. Let's
It's
hear it.
not
Let's hear
about.
it.
Here we
Wait, go
go.
ahead.
All right, so we're talking about now we're talking about AD. We're talking about D'Lo. All right, so the Iron Man of the NBA, we all know, was LeBron James, right?
Mhm.
Correct.
Yep.
He was known as the he never
Mhm.
injured, never.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Hmm.
I just want to his Lakers tenure, 5 years so far. He's played over 60 games once. How many times he's played over 60 games before the Lakers? Every single year in the NBA.
Every
The
year.
5 years with the Lakers, once. So I hear people they talk about AD, this always injured. When are we gonna start saying, okay, LeBron is old, he's injury prone now?
No, see,
Like
everybody can
we have,
agree to
he's
that.
old. Like
But AD's been going through this since he came in the league.
Nah,
So that's why everybody's on AD.
Exactly.
nah. But I
oh,
think I think Nick
and
has a
Bron
point.
is
Like, what is
and
the
Bron's
future? What
whole
is Lakers' future?
and the one season where he played over 60 games was the
I
bubble
know where you're getting
season
at.
where you
I
had
knew
the
it. Yeah,
5 month
yeah,
break and then everyone played in one arena. They slept in one arena. They ate in one arena. Zero travel.
yeah,
Nothing. That's the only
yeah.
season
You're right.
he in the Lakers jersey where he played over 60 games.
You're right.
When are we gonna
That's true.
start saying, okay, we can't rely on
Yeah,
LeBron's health?
And I
We
think,
have to put that in the
I'm with you
picture
because
when we
like,
talk about the Lakers'
right,
title hopes.
I can't. I
We
agree.
talk
I
about
agree.
AD being, we talk about Kevin Durant being injured the past 5, 6
Mm-hmm.
seasons or whatever you want to say.
It's not a fair
When are
comparison.
we gonna start put?
It's not a fair
Well, why
comparison.
not?
How is it not a fair?
I'll tell you why. LeBron James
How's it
is
not?
4 years
Okay,
older.
yeah,
go.
He's
yeah,
4 years older than Kevin
even
Durant. 4 years older.
Okay.
That's a big deal. Kevin Durant
Okay,
is
I said old.
you did
I
say
said
that.
old and injury prone.
yeah,
When you get older, those injury like things that you could like that hits you harder. So I mean, it's safe to say because of his age, because this has been happening since he was 34, the first year on
True.
the
That's true.
Lakers, and has been going on every year besides the bubble year with the 5 month
yeah,
break.
yeah.
When do
That
we
rest,
have that conversation?
See, but I don't think that should be a conversation because we know that happens to NBA players, right or wrong,
No,
right
but
or wrong.
Most
the point he's making
NBA
is.
players are playing
nah,
over 60
Mm-hmm.
games.
Most NBA players.
Unless they're like injury prone. Unless like they're injury
No,
prone and you like
but
the
it's
Kawhis and the
different for
where
him
you do
because
the
it's different because he's carrying a bigger load that he shouldn't have to carry. He's carrying that because AD is not living up to his potential. AD is
he
always
said he
injured and
shouldn't
he's a
have to
young
carry.
guy and he's not carrying as big of a load as LeBron. So if AD was there to help out, who's to say that he'll be injured so much?
Listen, you can't counter. You can't counter
AD
AD, so
was
that's a dub.
there. AD?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nah,
they're both in the
I don't
same boat.
I'm
I
not
put
gonna
them in
agree
the
with
same
that.
boat.
I don't
Yeah,
they
they're in the same
Yeah,
are.
boat
they're in the
No,
as
same
of
they're
right
boat.
not.
now.
They are.
No, they're not. It's different
They're in the
because
same
we
boat as
know
right now, man.
LeBron was always reliable. AD was not, and we expect AD to be carrying a bigger load. So
Yeah, but
if LeBron was like had to
But
move
we
the
had
ball.
evidence that AD could never carry that
Exactly.
load.
From day
Okay,
one.
wait a minute.
We had
I don't know
evidence.
about that.
but but
I don't
we
know
also
about
have
that.
a bubble too, where it was like AD had to play. He had to play in some of those games. He had to go into
Mm-hmm.
another gear for them to make it to
Mm-hmm.
the bubble finals.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm not gonna discredit like AD in that title run because
Wait,
it
I'm
kind of
not.
sounds
No,
like
I'm
Some
it's
not
people
complete.
thought he
discrediting him.
was the best player in that bubble series.
Like
I may or may not be one of them.
I'm not discrediting. Wait, what? What?
Some people thought he was the best player in those bubbles in
Wait,
some of those
do
series.
you think that?
I may be one of
Are you
them.
one of?
I may be
Are you
one of
I
them.
was one of those too.
I may
I'm
be
Like,
not doing
one
this
of
with y'all.
them.
but I was one of those too, man.
Just saying, man.
But I'm not gonna say LeBron didn't do anything. Like
He did,
LeBron
of
was
course. No, of
the point
course.
guard. Like he was the point guard. We recognize that, but he was
LeBron. I feel LeBron
like
was the
in that
system, but
bubble.
AD was like he went to another level that we haven't seen
Yeah,
since.
because no,
Look at
because
his
remember he
shooting
was
splits
playing
in the
through that.
bubble.
Yeah, and then he was playing through the ankle. Remember that he kept going down, and then he had to keep on. He kept
That's cause
getting up.
that's cause he
He
couldn't
kept
go
getting
nowhere.
up.
He can't
He
go
had to
nowhere.
fix his ankle. Yeah, there's nowhere to go. Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
He can't go nowhere.
Because anyhow he
Mm-hmm.
knew he had to travel
Exactly.
to the next team's.
Yeah. You have
Oh,
to
he
do that.
wasn't
He was
playing.
dumb.
He
All he had
wasn't
to do was go
playing.
right upstairs and relax.
Wait,
And the Lakers wouldn't even win. They
so
wouldn't
what
win.
does that say about
They
AD?
wouldn't
The
even
fact
win.
that you all are saying this, what does that say about AD? He's
Say-
a younger guy. It's supposed to be his team, and you all are saying, "Oh, he wouldn't have played if he
But
had to travel."
like Mick said, we've known about this from day one.
But
We
the next season
Right.
proved it. Like
how many people call
he
AD
didn't play.
soft?
What
Everybody called him
happened?
so.
You got beat by Devin Booker.
But you all are making my point. By the way, my point is that AD is supposed to be taking more of the load off LeBron, so LeBron doesn't get injured so much, and AD has not done that.
No,
So it shouldn't be
But
on LeBron.
LeBron being
We shouldn't be
injured
talking
was
about
never
LeBron
a
getting old.
thing, though.
But it's gonna be a thing, and he's gonna get injured if he has to play more minutes and he has to carry a bigger load because he's older. So it's supposed to be AD's turn to carry a bigger load
I
and play
think I
more
think
minutes,
I
but
think
he
I think
can't
LeBron
do it.
expected to carry the load. He's going
No,
to do what
this is what I think. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I think.
I agree with
No,
Jason.
he
no.
knew.
Yeah, go Dora.
I
I think
disagree
he
with
knew.
that.
Nah, this is what I think. I'm gonna put this by LeBron. This guy is a shrewd operator. Here's why. Every time there's this narrative that goes around about him, he decides to he pretends like he doesn't listen,
Of course.
but he listens. The narrative with him was, or the narrative with most players now is, oh, guys take too much rest. Once he became the face of the rest, all of a sudden he wants to be Mr. Iron Man. And he plays into the narrative, I'm gonna play every game so I can look like the one who works
I
harder than
No, wait a
everybody.
minute.
When he
disagree
should have
with that.
just,
No,
yo,
no, that has
just
nothing
ease
to
up.
do with
No,
it.
because it doesn't make any sense. Here's why. Because when he saw that pop, no, LeBron copies. He's a copycat. Here's why. When the Spurs were
Okay.
doing it, he realizes do it too. Problem is, he's the face of the league. You, as the face of the league, you can't get away with that. When a team with older individuals, they have to do that because they're older. They need to do that. It worked for them. For him, you're younger than them, and you're over here resting, and you're the face of the league. Bad look. Now, when your face of the league is doing all that, now everybody else starts to follow the face of the league. Now, when the narrative shifts, when the narrative is like coming at all these players, what he now does, you know what? I'm going to be the one to play all the games, and maybe everybody else will follow. But he wants to be the guy, he wants to make sure he's ahead of the narrative or change the story that can make him look a certain way. If you look at how he's always moved, he always does. The same thing with, oh, why you left Miami, blah, blah. Then he wants to play the bad guy. That doesn't work. He listens. He listens, and in my opinion, he shouldn't have listened. He should have, as an older individual, take your rest. I probably actually wouldn't even come at him. I'll come at other
No,
guys that are younger.
no,
Him, he
he
needs to
can't
take a
take a
rest.
rest right now
You get
because
it?
they
He
fighting
wants
for
to be in
playoff
front of what?
position. So he was trying to play every game for that
Yeah.
reason. It had
Eh,
nothing to do with
Right.
Iron
I'm not
Man.
talking about right now. It started. It started once he got on the Lakers, and he tried to do the whole rest thing. That wasn't working because he was getting hammered by all these debate shows. Once he started getting hammered, then he decides to, I'm going to start playing all the games because everybody's coming at me, and I don't want to be the guy that everybody looks at. Because when you have all these Jordan debates and these GOAT conversations, a lot of people will say, well, Jordan will still play 82 games
you can play
at
all
40 years
82
old.
games
How
with
come
two days
LeBron's
off.
not doing that? And then
But
now LeBron wants to do it. Nobody hardly even says that anymore because now LeBron's actually doing it. He's a shrewd operator. He knows, he listens. Think about it. We have these debates in
Mm.
the barbershop, correct? I'm sure Mick sees where I'm
Yeah,
going
of
with this.
course.
What is the name
on
of his
whose
show?
show? The barbershop?
But
The barbershop.
What's the name of the show?
No,
Okay,
wait,
thank you. Bam.
no,
Thank you. It
that
proves
don't
my
prove,
point.
it does not.
That
yo,
proves my
stop,
It,
point.
man.
Like,
How it does it?
these debates happen in barbershops
Come
across
on,
the
man.
country. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Jacob, I'm surprised you don't see this. You're the king of conspiracy. But you don't see this with LeBron James. He
you
moves.
all are talking
He's
about that he
shrewd,
followed
man. He
Greg
moves.
Popovich and the
He's
rest then,
shrewd,
right?
man.
How much games, what would
Yeah.
you say is the amount of games that the Spurs took off to rest? Would you say 10, 12? Is that a fair amount?
10 to 20. 10 to
10 to
20.
20?
Yeah. I was gonna go up to like 20,
10 to
maybe.
20,
10 to
Jay,
yeah.
you
20.
agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. LeBron James, he only missed 20 games once in his career, other than the Lakers. I'm not talking about that era. He missed 20
I
games
brought
I'm
that
talking
once.
up,
about the
though.
Lakers, though. You're going too far back.
No, but my point
But he
is,
was in
he
his
wasn't
he was in
taking
his
rest so
prime,
much.
taking 15. He was taking 10. He was taking little. Bro, he was in his prime taking 10 games off
No,
alone
he only
management.
took 10 games. He only has double-digit missed games. What? Once in 2012. Oh no, I'm sorry, twice. 2012 and 2015. Twice.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the only time he has
yeah,
double-digit rest. Other than that, LeBron James,
In his
he
prime.
was
yeah,
a
yeah. In his prime, no,
right
but
In
you're
his
in his
saying that's
prime.
the
prime.
point I'm making. Because in his prime, he was doing that, and around the time the Spurs were doing that, so he decides to do that. He gets hammered. Then
Oh,
he's like, okay, I'm
but
gonna
you're
just not
saying
do
he
that
was doing
anymore. He
that
got
on the
hammered,
Lakers.
bro.
You all are saying that, right?
No, he would
I'm saying
no.
he was
No, he
doing
wasn't.
that in
And
his
I'm saying
prime.
no,
We're
he
not
Not
was
the
talking
not
about the
doing
Lakers.
that in
Lakers.
his prime. He
I'm
was not doing
saying
that in his
now,
prime.
no. What I'm saying is
Bro.
what he should be doing. He should be doing the rest stuff now, not when he was in his prime. I'm saying he's playing. He's overly playing too many games because he doesn't want to be seen as, oh, why are you taking games off? You're playing at the height of you're LeBron James. Like,
I mean,
you shouldn't be doing that. Da, da, da. No, you're older.
All those
You was
missed
just
games in his career was load management. They were not injuries. In those Cleveland, Miami years,
management. Yeah,
they
it
were
wasn't hurt.
not injured. He was never injured.
So
He was
he's the one player that
never
was never
it's
injured.
injured.
it's him. No matter
And
what he does, some of those they were gonna
but
say
no,
something.
no, no.
Exactly.
Injured, bro.
Jacob forgets that this dude was taking he would take games off of like marquee
Bro, this was
matchup
a
games
tough
LeBron?
when you're
I
going
don't
up.
remember that, man.
LeBron.
I don't
He
remember
was
that
legit.
I don't
either.
remember.
It would be like Cleveland versus Golden State. LeBron not playing, but the whole Golden
What?
State
Who
lineup
was
is there. It
this?
was just
Nah,
like,
I don't remember
yo,
that.
I
and
don't
they just
remember
I don't
blowing
that.
them
remember that.
out.
Just
Remember
Google
that because
LeBron
y'all
James
like
And
load management. Thousands of things will
and
pop up.
yo,
This isn't coming out of
bro.
right
nowhere.
now,
It's not coming out of
right
nowhere.
now he
It's not
can't take.
coming out of
I
nowhere,
do
bro.
agree with you. If they had a better record, then he should be taking rest. But they don't, so he
He
can't
can't
take
take
rest.
rest now because he's not winning games when he's
No, not
playing. That's
now.
let's
He
talk
should have
about it.
been.
He's not winning games when he's playing, so he can't afford to take rest.
Yeah, because his
That's
team
the
is not
That was
winning
problem.
also
good
another
enough.
narrative.
Because
That's
his
the
team was
problem.
trash. He didn't have this new team now. And wait, can we get into the whole scope of the Western Conference?
Go ahead.
Let's
Because
talk about it. Yeah.
if the Lakers,
We'll do that.
if LeBron James was there and Anthony Davis was there with this team for the whole year, if he had this team will be fighting for first seed in the West.
I agree.
He didn't want this team.
I agree.
What? You agree, right?
I agree.
Thank you. If he
I
had
Of
this
course, you
team,
disagree.
never
then
agree to anything LeBron does.
If he had this team 30 games in, y'all be calling Rui trash. Y'all be calling
Nah,
Mo Mamba trash. Y'all be
nah,
calling Jared Vanderbilt trash. Y'all be calling trade these guys. Who are these guys?
They be like, yo,
Y'all be
get
calling. Y'all be
Austin
calling.
Reeves, get Reeves out of
Yeah,
here.
y'all be calling D'Lo a chucker. He trash.
that's not.
let,
I'm
let,
telling
That's
you.
not.
let me switch
I'm
to
telling
Bills
you.
talk.
Nah, they
That's
can't
the
come for
story
Reeves.
of LeBron's
Nah, they wouldn't. No,
career.
they wouldn't come for Reeves because LeBron he loves Reeves. They wouldn't come after Reeves, even though he tried. They wouldn't come after him though, because if LeBron thinks somebody nice, like yo,
What is it?
so
AR-15
Naked.
or
What's the
something?
dude that AR-15? Yeah, they don't touch AR-15. They don't say nothing about him. I don't even know. Does he even shoot 40% from
I'm gonna
three?
be honest.
Does he?
Probably
I don't know.
don't.
He is pretty good though. He is a
Yeah,
decent bench
right.
player.
Really? What?
He's decent. He
He's
is a decent
decent.
player. Like
Okay, so we win
no,
championship
I'm
with
saying
decent. Okay.
I'm saying he's a part of their 9-man rotation. And if you look at the West, they got the best 9-man rotation in the no besides Phoenix. Phoenix got the best. I'm not even gonna say that. Phoenix got the best 9-man
Phoenix
rotation.
have the
Maybe
best
they got a
9-man
top three.
rotation.
They
Based
got
off
a
of
top
yesterday,
9-man rotation. Overall, the Lakers they do if they
Bro,
healthy. Every
the
team
Suns
should
have
be
no
healthy.
The,
bench,
The
man.
Suns have a bench. I disagree with that.
The Suns
yo,
have no
let's switch to
They
the.
bench.
have.
Listen,
I don't know
right
what you
now, the
talking
only way
about.
we're gonna know anything is when the real thing starts.
I don't really.
All right, let me give my breakdown. I'll give my breakdown on the West. One team I've been sleeping on, and I've been paying more attention to recently, is the Denver Nuggets. I've been writing them off.
I was about
I've
to.
been writing them
I was gonna
off.
bring him up.
I've been
I was gonna be like, yo, I'm sorry, guys.
I've been writing them
I
off,
think
but
Denver will be in the
I've been
mix.
paying closer attention recently, and I think that squad is legit. I don't think with these usual number one seeds, a lot of these number one seeds, it was the Suns one year, it was the Jazz one year.
Oh
I'm like,
boy.
I don't believe in it, but I don't. I think it was even Denver one year too. I'm like, I don't believe no, but Denver this year, I've been paying more attention. I don't. I think they're the best team in the West right now.
Really?
You got Michael Porter Jr. He's been healthy. He's been extremely efficient. Jamal Murray's Jamal Murray. When he's hot, he's hot. You got Aaron Gordon. I think he's injured now, or he might
Yeah,
just
just came
came
back.
back, but he's a
Yeah.
good piece. Defensive player, real good defensive player. Then you got I guess the three-time MVP, which is crazy. Congrats to him. Joker, ahead of time, who's controlling the whole show. Another triple-double, extremely efficient. His advanced numbers are outrageous, out of this
Yeah.
world. I think
Hmm.
that Denver team, and then even the bench. That bench looks. I think they have the best nine-man rotation. I think they're the best team in the West.
Yeah, right now I'm still snoozing on them.
I'll just go. I'll go with who I think are contenders. I don't believe in the Grizzlies
Uh-uh.
at all. I don't believe. I don't know. It's just too much talk and too much stories and stuff that's coming out of there. Ja is nice. Dane is nice. You got Jaren Jackson Jr. He's a beast defensively, whatnot. But overall, I don't think they're coming out the West.
Yeah, he don't like JJ.
I don't think they're coming out the West. I'm not a believer in them.
He don't like the All Star
Okay,
JJ.
A
let's start
team
there.
that no one's talking about.
Who?
A team no he made the All Star game, but the team no one's talking about. If they get healthy, watch out. No matter what seed they are, Golden State. It don't matter what. If Curry's playing come April, I don't care. They don't need chemistry. Don't watch out. They're a contender off rip. I think Phoenix. I don't. That bench is weak. Phoenix. They're top heavy, but I got KD and Booker, a veteran Chris Paul. Aiton has to prove himself, but I think one thing, KD's a defensive force.
No,
I
no,
don't care
I
what.
agree. I agree.
I think
I agree.
KD's a defensive force that'll help Aiton out a
I
bit.
agree.
I think they'll make some noise in the playoffs potentially. I think it could be them versus the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, depending how it depends. But I believe so. Basically, I believe in the Nuggets. I believe in the Suns. I believe in the Warriors. I the Clippers. I don't think I believe in them. I don't like the Westbrook thing. I don't know. That was actually my pick to win the West at the
Oh,
beginning of the
Clippers?
year. But looking now,
Yeah,
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 the
it
Yeah,
Clippers.
was. It was.
I faded
But
them.
the whole
I was
Kawhi
dumb. I
situation,
was
but
dumb with
Kawhi's
them.
back now. The last 2 months, he's been crazy. His numbers the past 2 months have been crazy. But still, it's something about that team. I don't see him getting past the second round. So those are my four contenders in the West. The Lakers somewhat interested after the trade deadline, but then boom, LeBron is injured. Then you got AD. Now I'm not worried about that team. I don't think if they a lot of Lakers fans were hoping that they get the Kings, like the Lakers get the sixth seed, and before
Mm-hmm.
LeBron got injured, and they could get the Kings in that third seed, and then they think they'll easily knock the Kings out.
Hmm.
I don't believe in the Kings either, but they're a nice. They're a nice little team. I don't watch them like that, but I just don't believe a team of Fox and Sabonis and them is going upset someone. I don't see him upsetting someone like the Clippers or
Phoenix, yeah.
something like that. So a lot of Laker fans were hoping that, or Phoenix, or So a lot of Laker fans were hoping they got that spot, but I don't think they're doing anything. I don't even think they're gonna make it. So that's my breakdown on the West. I got four teams that I got my eye on, and everyone else. The Mavericks. I told you what I think
Uh-huh.
about them already. So I got my 4 teams I'm keeping my eye on, and
Yeah.
everyone else I don't believe. The Grizzlies are a close fifth, but I don't really believe them.
I agree with everything you
So
just
yeah.
said, except I'm still snoozing on the Nuggets. I don't believe in them at all. I'm dead serious. I'm snoozing. Like, that's one team I'm not worried about. Right now,
I don't blame you. I was snoozing
now,
on them for a minute. I don't blame you, man.
Nah, this
I'm
will be my.
awake.
I
I'm
think this will be
awake
my
though.
ranking.
I'm
My
awake.
ranking for the West will be. I got all right. I got Phoenix as number one getting out. Even though I made my assessment earlier about Clippers might be it, but I don't. It's Russ. I don't really trust.
Yeah.
It's really
you put him
him.
back on the bench.
You you could probably even Paul George. There's one thing I know we're gonna talk about him soon, but like one thing I do. It's funny because like now I'm a fan of him again some way, only because he said this one
Oh
comment.
yeah.
A lot of players can't say this. Man said, you know what?
So many
I'm
can't.
not really like the guy. Yeah, I'm not that guy. Um, I think I'm more of a number two, but on some nights I could be that guy, which I think a lot of us determined that. Like we know he's a good player. We know he can be that. He can be that guy
Jacob
in
didn't.
one game,
Wait.
or maybe
I
two,
believe him.
or maybe
I
two in a
believe him.
series. But you're not gonna win the series with him because we've seen it in Indiana. We've seen it like we know he can ball, even in Oklahoma
He
City.
was like a de facto number
He
one
did.
in
He did.
OKC, basically.
Basically, yeah. He basically was, but even he couldn't get them over the hump. So you start to realize like, yo, he's a number two. He's a number two who can be on some nights can be a number one. So he's a really good number two player. The fact that he said that, I was like, yo,
And I was
I
saying that
respect
Damien
him
to say the
even
same
more.
thing,
And
but Jacob disagreed.
who
Dame.
who needs to say something?
Yeah, Jacob. Oh,
Dame.
yeah. He said Dame. That's what started that
Yeah.
whole chat because the chat was going crazy. The
Yeah.
war. It actually
Oh,
started
that's what.
off
That's
of the
Yeah.
Dame thing.
the 500 messages
Because
went
Jay
from
was
that to
getting on Dame
LeBron
Lillard.
and
That's
Hey,
how it started.
let him be top notch, but he cannot be the
That
best player on the top team, on the championship team.
One of these days we got to get into that because I got a lot to say about that.
Who can you pair him up with and you say, yo, Dame is the best player? Tell me.
If you traded
I get where Jason. I get where Jason's coming from,
if
though.
you
KD?
traded
I get
Steph
it.
Who?
Curry for
Curry? No.
Damian Lillard, they'll still win a championship. Maybe not as much, but they'll still win a
No, they
championship.
wouldn't.
Yes, they
No, they
would.
wouldn't. I
Yes, they
disagree.
would.
nah,
Damian
no, they
I
wouldn't.
Lillard played
strongly disagree. I
Nah, they
just
wouldn't.
like Steph
strongly
Curry,
disagree.
except Steph Curry moves
Nah,
better without the ball.
no,
That's the one difference. Steph Curry moves better without the
And
ball.
that's a
That's
big
it.
no, no, no,
part,
no,
and that's
no,
a
That's
no, no.
it.
huge difference.
That's the
And
biggest difference.
They,
No, he doesn't move better.
he
He
does
doesn't
move
just
better.
move better.
Wait, what was that?
Effortless.
Staffordless.
No, what?
Effortless.
Jacob,
But
Yo,
what
wait,
it's
game
like,
have you
who?
been watching?
dude, that's a big component
No,
of their
wait, no,
offense,
that's
bro.
not true.
The offense is
Wait,
all about
Klay
motion and
Thompson,
moving around. What are you
The
talking about? He said they're
whole
passing the ball.
offense.
their whole
The
offense is
The
not
whole
based on
whole offense
Steph.
is that's what they do.
It,
No. That's what I'm saying. I said their whole offense is predicated on
Oh no,
moving without the
ain't doing it.
basketball. Damian
that is
Lillard,
not true. That is not
never
true.
seen
No,
Damian
look at
Lillard
the
do that.
offenses he's
Come
been in.
on,
He
Look
doesn't
at the
even train
offenses
for
he's
that.
been in.
He doesn't
He
train.
hasn't had an
I'm
opportunity
gonna
to
take a step.
really be off the
Okay.
ball except with CJ McCollum, and CJ McCollum has one focus: score, score, score. CJ McCollum is not.
What,
And
what,
what's Dame's
Wait,
focus?
whoa!
And
Dame
what's
doesn't
Dame's
facilitate.
focus?
Dame doesn't facilitate on that team. Dame does everything for that team.
Bro,
Everything. That's why
Dame is a
Anthony
scorer
Simons is able to
first
thrive with
before.
him. That's why Wes Matthews was able to do well with him. That's why CJ McCollum was able to do
Define
well with
okay,
him
all
well.
right. So,
because of Damian Lillard. Like he's
CJ and Dame was a
I don't
1-2
need.
kind of thing. Turn,
mhm.
my
wait,
turn, kind of.
but
That
why
wasn't
is
no
that? Wait,
motion, them moving without the
no,
ball
that
and all
started
types
late.
of.
That started late.
That was
That
a
CJ McCollum one, your turn, my turn, started with LaMarcus Aldridge leaving the team. Before that, if you watch Portland play, Damian Lillard was coming off the ball. It changed when when LaMarcus left and CJ McCollum was put into the starting lineup. I'm telling Damian Lillard he's Steph Curry's better. But Damian Lillard on Golden State, the offense wouldn't take a dramatic dip.
does
They
not
won a
win a championship.
They won in a.
They're not winning.
I don't even know if they make it to the Western
That is
Conference Finals.
ridiculous.
They probably maybe
So,
one year,
so
maybe
in other
one
words, you
year,
all are
maybe
saying
one
Damian
year.
Lillard is not a top
They'll make
75
it. They'll make it to
player.
West Conference, but they're not
Based
winning a
off that,
championship.
that's what it sounds like.
She
Because
should have made
you
that list.
saying what?
I don't believe that list anyway. I don't care about that.
Yo, we're not saying
That's going from
No, that
left
is
field.
not because
That's a different topic.
all right,
That's a different
you all are
topic.
talking like he's not a top 10.
I'm borderline on that.
That's how you
I'm
don't talk. Because
Whoa. I'm not saying.
on that,
No.
you're saying Steph
That's not how
Curry is
we're
on a
talking.
dramatic
Yes, he is.
level.
Yes, he is.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Steph
That
Curry
is
is my
definitely
guy.
what I'm saying. Yes.
Steph Curry is my guy.
Yes.
Steph Curry is my guy. But he's not dramatic.
Yes.
He's better.
That's like
He's better than Damian Lillard.
Dame tells
He's
you
better
he's
than Damian
Dame
Lillard,
tells
but he's
you
not
he's dramatically better. Dame
Better.
says it all the time. Dame says it all the
Dame
time.
said it. Dame said Steph
Bro.
Curry's dramatically
He
better.
said it every day.
He actually said that.
He said dramatically better shooter. Dramatically shooter. When
Oh.
Dame talks about himself, he automatically goes to second in shooting.
Oh, no,
That's
I
not
agree.
player, but shooting, he automatically
I
says
agree.
second. He
Not
doesn't
even
even
second.
touch the first.
I agree. He's second. He's not second. Klay Thompson is second.
I don't know if he's second, but
Oh,
he's up there.
He's
He's
up
up there. We're not doing that.
But my
up
thing
there.
is Damian Lillard.
Dame up
If you traded them, they'll have one championship.
No, bro. He has
I'm
to
not
change his
saying
whole
they would
style of
have
play.
consistency,
That's
they'll
not
have
who
one.
Dame
They'll have one.
is. That's
they're
not who Dame is.
not.
He has to change his whole.
Yo, all I'm gonna say is this: the way Steph be training and Damian Lillard don't do half the things Steph be doing on offense for him to do what he does.
I agree with that.
Dame does what he does.
I know it's
for
for the
his
team
style of play.
He has to
Steph
train
does what he
differently
does
on that
for
team
no,
because
no, no,
he
no,
doesn't.
no, no.
Do you not see the amount of players?
Look at the
No,
players
wait,
Golden State has and Portland has.
you got it
Golden
wrong,
State
bro.
has a different roster that Steph Curry could play with. It's catered.
People talk about Steph Curry's endurance for a reason. They talk about the way his endurance and all of that for a reason. The stuff that Steph does.
I agree with this. But for you all to say Damian Lillard can't win on that team is craziness.
On Golden State, no, he cannot. Maybe if all right, I'll give you this. With Kevin Durant, yes. Without Kevin Durant?
This is what Jacob is doing. This is why.
And even that's
I think this is part of why we don't agree with you. Here's why we don't agree with you, Jacob. You're making it seem like as if Golden State's offense is because of
No. It's because of two
players.
players.
It's Steph Curry.
It's because
you're making it seem like as if
not Draymond.
You're making it seem as
not
if
Draymond.
Don't you ever bring all about to say.
No,
I was gonna stop
it's
talking
not
about it.
Draymond. It's Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. More so Steph Curry.
The threat of Klay helps.
But
definitely.
Damian Lillard could play on that team, but it would have to be a little bit different. And especially on that Mark Jackson team, Damian Lillard would have go far.
He said a little bit different is the margin of error between you winning a championship.
I agree. They wouldn't have multiple championships, but they'll have one.
Now,
and I say that because Steph Curry is a better player than Damian Lillard.
Who they gonna be?
Steph Curry is a better player than Damian Lillard.
Man, this is what I think, yo.
LeBron real walking that team.
Damian Lillard can play.
Destroying that team.
Damian Lillard can play.
You doing
Dame, just play with Giannis, bro.
That's who, like, when people, like, who could you pair Dame with?
Play with Giannis.
That would be unfair.
That's when people talk about, that's my number one. That's my number one thing. When you talk about who could you pair Dame with, put him with Giannis.
You play with Giannis and Middleton, and then oh my God. Yo, package Brook and Portis and them cats. And you can throw in the dude that injures everybody. I forgot his name.
Oh,
Grayson
Grayson
You can
Allen.
Allen.
throw him
Oh, I
in
can't
there.
stand
Grayson
that guy.
Allen.
Yeah, throw in Grayson, Portis,
If that were
Lopez.
to happen, I
Throw
would.
him in there.
That would be like
Give
the
him
Kevin
picks. Give him
Durant.
some picks.
Devin.
You good? You in it
All
too?
right, all right. So you saying that's so crazy? Damn. So LeBron and Wade was crazy. That was worse. LeBron and Wade was worse
If you
than Dame
have Dame,
and Giannis.
if you
That
have
was two
Dame,
top
yeah.
three
Wait, is Jrue
players.
Holiday still on the team? Is Jrue Holiday still on that team?
How you gonna
Okay.
Yeah, trade Drew.
All
Trade
right.
No,
If
Drew.
he's
he
not on
I'm
wouldn't
that
be on
team,
the
then
Buffalo.
you're
team.
Keep
right.
He
Portis.
wouldn't be on the team.
All
Keep
right.
Portis. Yeah, trade Drew and Lopez. Keep Portis
That's
and give him some picks. Yo, you good? And get Grayson out of it, and then
Drew
you
is
good.
a big part. That Drew is a big part of that
yeah.
Bucks team. That makes that Bucks team work. Though I can't. Yeah,
Yeah,
he is a big.
but you're not gonna
stop
get
Danny,
Dame.
nigga?
You gotta give
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
You
You
gotta
got to
give up
give him
Drew.
up for. Yeah,
Jrue,
I know that. I know
Jrue
that.
Holiday is
You gotta give him
underrated,
up.
and if
Yeah,
Jrue
You
Holiday,
I think. Yeah,
he's like,
very underrated.
Underrated.
I think
I love
Very
Drew,
I think
man.
he's
underrated.
He's
top
very
5.
underrated. I love
Everybody
him.
love that guy.
Him and Brook Lopez.
No, he
Him and
is.
Brook Lopez
Nah, he
underrated to me.
and Brooke. Yeah, I love. Yeah,
Yeah.
So nobody talks
yeah,
about him,
Drew.
but
Like
everybody
nobody talks
respects his
about.
game.
Let's be real. Talks about.
No one talks because
Yeah.
no one talks about
That's true.
defense.
That's true.
No, yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like he's underrated because it's like, and that's
Mm-hmm.
another big
Yep.
thing with him. He knows how to run an
You know,
Yeah,
offense.
he's a,
A
yeah,
lot of people don't. A lot of people don't realize that
yeah.
because he knows how to run an offense. I think to me, like I'll always credit him
Yep. I
for
agree.
Giannis getting to the next level. When I was watching that season when they won the championship, when I saw Giannis at the top of the key, like, and this dude Jrue said, "Yo, get down there." You can hear him like you
Yep.
can hear him on the TV. Yo, get down there. And then Giannis,
mm-hmm.
credit to him, he was like, I got you, bro. He went down there, threw him the
Yep.
ball, banged. I said, that's what you need to do. That's all Giannis need. And I credit Jrue Holiday
Mm-hmm.
for making him see, like, dude, stop that nonsense. Get in the lane, dominate the paint. You know,
Yeah.
Shaq loves your play because you dominate the paint. So do what Shaq loves you to do. Get down there, I'll feed you the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Middleton got
Yep.
up here
Jrue
and
Holiday,
do
he
what you
also
need to
did
do
that
down
for
there.
Anthony Davis the year he
So,
got out the first round. He was the reason they got out. He shut down
yes,
Damian Lillard,
I agree.
and he set up that offense for
Stop
Anthony
bringing up
Davis.
injury prone guys, please.
Yeah.
What?
Stop bringing up Davis, man. Stick to Giannis.
No, no. Just saying.
We're talking about MVPs right now. Cut it out.
I'm just saying. Jrue Holiday. My point was that Jrue Holiday is a great player, and he helped AD.
So
But
sad. What Giannis is,
I'm saying, right?
AD supposed to
yes,
be
He not,
what Giannis is right now. Just saying.
he is.
Or even more than Giannis. To be
AD
honest
was
with you.
my guy, so you could.
everybody
Easily.
wanted AD
I'm
too.
disappointed
I
in
don't know,
him
man. I
for
don't
real.
trust that guy, no man.
That
Me
was my
too.
guy.
You know when I started falling out of love with him? This is when
I know it.
Cousins,
Yeah,
because
I know
I was a big
it.
Cousins supporter. Yeah. Cousins guy. I was a Cousins supporter. If he just get
I
his head
agree.
on straight, then you
Mm-hmm.
good. I don't know why I like guys without those personalities. But anywho. But anyway, so when he got on that team, I started thinking about headline. Better than I was like, yo, I think he better than
I
AD, yo.
agree.
Because
Yeah.
there was just the things he was doing. He
He
was
was
Offense.
like,
running the ball. He was running
yeah,
Yeah,
that
he was
offense.
doing
Like he
more.
was the one running that joint. I was just like, oh my God.
I was so
I
mad
think this
when he
dude is
got hurt,
better than
man.
AD. And then that's where I was
Oh.
like,
for real.
maybe we overrate AD a bit
For
too
real.
much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see, and that's what threw that. Yeah, that's what
Dude,
threw
I
that
think
they
they
were
could have
they
eliminated
probably would
Golden
have
State
low key
that
went
year.
to Western Conference Finals that
I
year if he
really
was
could
healthy.
have believed that. They
I
were
don't think
shooting
Probably.
so.
like DeMarcus Cousins and
I
AD was
disagree.
Probably.
yeah, they
playing
were
pick and
dominating
roll.
down low for
They were
real.
playing pick and roll. Like I've never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
No, they were
That was
crazy. I was
crazy.
watching.
Yeah, but Golden State would have shot them right out of the building.
Yeah, it was
I don't
crazy.
know.
Yeah, bring them niggas
Probably.
outside.
Yeah.
Probably, most likely. Maybe. I mean, nah, no, it would have been if he could figure out a way to
Nobody
stop
has
Steph
done that
and
yet. So how they?
slow him down. That
That's
would be a problem for
that's
Golden
true.
State.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody can just down
people
a
have
couple
done
of
it for a
games,
couple of games,
but
but
yeah,
I mean, we have data on Steph's struggles in the
yeah.
finals,
Well,
but I mean, he
He
shows
showed
up
up
here and
last
there
year
when you need him
against
to. So
Boston.
that,
People forgot about that when KD came in the building. It was like people forgot Steph used to
They
struggle
was,
in the finals before that. Yeah,
yeah, he did.
yeah.
People forget that. Yeah, that's what I'm
People
saying. I'm
forgot
like,
that.
yeah, you can.
you can
I think
neutralize
Jrue
him.
Holiday.
There, you can. You
I
got to
think
play
Jrue
physical,
Holiday is one of those
and you
people,
have to keep
and
up with him.
like I'm starting to believe the Bucks could
That's
like win it all because of that. Because Jrue Holiday is looking better than he did even last year to me before that.
Right.
quick point on Steph. Quick
Yeah.
point on
Yeah.
Steph. That's why last finals was
So
so big for him, and for him to play as well as he did, he shut a lot of those talks and whatnot down. But I do agree on the Bucks take though.
right.
I,
You.
I, I think I think if I had to pick
Hmm.
a team right now, I think it would be Bucks. And since Lakers is injured, I honestly was gonna pick the Lakers,
mm,
but I think Golden State is gonna come back, and I think Golden State and Bucks is gonna play
that
in the finals.
Phoenix
But Phoenix,
or Clippers.
I, one thing about Phoenix I gotta say,
I'm telling
I think
you,
I
the
think the
playoff starts,
team is.
KD gonna be on a different level. After what happened last year,
So
after what
here
happened,
we go.
I
Let's
just feel
hear
like
it.
he has something to prove.
I agree.
He failed miserable in Brooklyn, miserably.
I agree, and I agree with that. And one thing about that team, Phoenix, Mick said that they don't have a bench. They do. They do. They have two
They don't have a
players who could
bench.
score
All
over 15,
right,
and then they have Cameron Payne. TJ
Oh,
Warren and Terrence Ross is not
yeah,
scrubs. And then you have Torrey Craig who can play
TJ
D.
Warren, bro.
TJ Warren is offensively, TJ
I've
Warren is
watched
not a
TJ
scrub.
Warren all season in Brooklyn. He's
He's not a
not a
scrub. He can score
scrub,
over
but
15.
like he's not a solidified role
hey,
player at this moment to where
Only
he's all
because
that.
he doesn't know his role yet.
He's not a
Once he
solidified role
solidify
player
his
to this.
role, and then you got Terrence Ross. Nah, that team is dangerous.
And he's not even in the rotation at the
That's
moment.
the
So
point.
who's to say? We don't know. And he doesn't
But
play defense.
offensively, he's an explosion. Like he could put up 20 points in a hot streak.
yeah,
So
and
that
then
team,
disappear for the next 50 games. Cut it out.
you need it for one game. If you need one game for a player to get hot, Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross gets hot.
Okay. No, if you one game, no,
Yeah.
one
Then you
quarter.
then, then you then you out. Then you lose a series 4-1.
One quarter. It's crazy. One quarter. That's all he can give you.
He said 1 quarter.
I,
The half
I, I
of one
thought
quarter
Jacob
still
was
lose the
gonna go the
game.
Suns
No,
or
no, no. I
sweeping
think
route.
Suns is the
That's what I
best
was
team. I
waiting
just
for.
don't think they'll get out. But I do think Suns.
I don't
I
even
think they're
think
the
they're the
best
best
team,
team.
the best roster.
I think they arguably have the best duo, and then
I agree
even
that
that's debatable.
the best duo is debatable. Oh, by the way,
How's that?
watch out for the Sacramento Kings.
That's good. Yeah, I agree.
With
I
who?
said
It
it's
is.
debatable.
It is debatable because you could. Yeah, because you can say a whole bunch of
Steph,
You
duos.
Clay,
take
You
Steph
have
and
like
KD and Booker?
Stephen Clay, then you got
Kawhi Paul
Tatum,
Tatum,
George.
The West.
Brown.
The
Brown
West.
Jalen,
is played out of his mind this year.
Just the West.
yeah, Kawhi,
Okay,
Paul
Kawhi
George,
Paul
yeah,
George.
They have
Klay
mm,
Thompson, Steph.
yeah,
Clay Thompson
Kawhi, Paul
Steph.
George,
No, I'll take Booker and KD.
yeah.
You
I
say it like it's.
if you got
I mean, you can still
if
you can make a case for
your
like
boys,
Luca and you can say
Luca and
Luca
Fox
and
and
Kyrie.
Kyrie
Sabonis.
as a duo,
Don't,
but
don't
they're a
sleep on
duo.
Fox and Sabonis. I'm
Cut
telling
it.
you. Don't lie.
That's a duo.
Nah, they balling. They balling. I know they balling. They
Nah,
balling. They
Bro,
balling.
they're a
But like
duo. They are
every
a duo.
team
they
They
in the
balling.
balling.
league want
So
to
But
play them.
come on, why
they
not?
have
Yo,
to. They're balling. They have to do something in the playoffs before
Yeah,
you put them
All
with
right,
those
that's
type
fair.
of names.
That's
So
fair.
they balling though. If it's strictly this
every
year,
team
they're
try to play
balling.
them in the first round.
I'm not gonna go that
Every team
crazy.
want them in
But
the first round.
Every team
they
wants
they
them
balling.
in the
balling.
first round, but no, you're right.
That's a
You're
fact.
100% right. But I'll
That's a
tell you
fact.
this: if they
That's
were
a
to
fact.
play Memphis, they could beat Memphis. If they were, they
Memphis not fall into six, and I
if
don't think
if
Kings
the
fall into six. And I don't think the
Kings
Kings
could
are
beat
beating
Memphis.
Memphis either.
I know Ja Morant is the
Hell
big
no.
hype, But Darren Fox and Ja Morant, it's like this.
Is that guy even gonna be there by the time playoffs starts?
Not
Who?
to me.
Ja.
Why wouldn't he be there?
All right. He might be in jail.
He
What are you
might be
talking
in
about?
jail. He might be in jail. Ja want to be a gangster.
That nigga gonna be
No
working
way,
from the yard.
Ja might have shot somebody by
Yeah,
then.
He
I
gonna be
honestly
he's,
didn't want to get into
he gonna be
that, but
telling the
that
guard,
makes
turn that
sense.
TV up, please.
Nah, but yeah, Ja need to comment now. I don't know what's wrong with that though. He been all
I don't know what's going on. That's then I
17-year-old kid.
see he punched a
He had a gun.
yeah,
in the face. Then I'm
him
seeing he punched
Bro.
his middle school teacher when he was in middle school, all kinds of
Oh, I
nonsense.
thought you were
I mean
saying
that didn't
that.
happen. I'm just making that part up. But I'm
Bro,
just saying, like, I'm old.
like
he went in Foot Locker with 9 of his friends, and then
I'm
he
just,
that
showed
was
the
a real
gun
What?
at
story.
the
Yeah,
tip or
that's a real
whatever.
I'm
That was
like,
a real story, by the way. That was a
like
real
Shannon Sharp
yeah,
said.
that's
story.
I'm like,
Like you made it
That
out.
was a
Why are you
real
trying to go
story.
back to the hood?
what
Like what
is
are you doing?
going on?
He's doing things
Because
backwards, man.
sad because Mick knows, like, I'm a fan of this guy. And it's just like you're doing these things, and I'm just like, yo, I'm sorry, I can't, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't rep you. I can't
So,
rep
but
you.
you
I
know
just can't rep you right now. You need
you
to
know how
clean it
things
up,
go. He's a star player
and
on
then
Memphis, so they're going to try
I'll
to
see what
protect him
happens.
as much as they can, or at least till the playoffs is over.
He young. He just
Yeah.
gotta just calm down, bro. Iverson went through
Like
something
this?
similar, so I mean,
Like this?
he just gotta calm down
This
and
is different.
Nah,
Like,
but here's the difference though. Nah, but here's the difference, and it was plaguing my thoughts, and I'm about to go there.
Mm-hmm.
You're a black athlete. You know, forget that. You're a black man with a father that's actually
yeah,
present.
facts.
Oh, shit.
But all these things are coming up. That
No
doesn't
fathers.
help our case at all. Usually it's
Facts.
broken home, no father, they're lashing out going crazy.
Both parents.
You have a father
Both.
who shows up to all your games, who's
The
always
father
there
Mm-hmm.
for you.
enabling.
that's
The
true.
father's
Both parents.
enabling him.
Thank you.
The father's enabling him. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
So now it's like it's a problem. It's like when you think we're going in the right direction, we go 2 steps
And
forward,
it's
3
not a
steps
That's
good
back. It's like,
it.
come
representation of the
on,
dad.
man. Do you not? This is
Yeah.
and this is where I give LeBron credit, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like black man doing his best to be a role
Off the
model
court, LeBron is the
for his 2
GOAT.
sons and
Oh,
He's
also
the
his
GOAT off
daughter.
the court.
Yo,
He's the GOAT off
that's
the
where I'm
court.
like,
I agree.
I'm like, that's what's up. When it comes to basketball, yeah, I'm
MJ.
gonna
A
continue
lot
to
of
go hard,
people
whatever,
call him a
whatever.
horrible person off the court.
But
LeBron is the
but
GOAT
yeah,
off the
but on the flip
court.
side, yeah, but yeah, I can legit say, yo, you a goat dude. You're a goat father, goat black. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I respect him
100%.
to the degree.
1000%
Like, I
agree.
have high respect for him. Like, really do. I really do. And it's just like it's sad because you have the standard of LeBron James like off the court,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Future.
you got the young guys coming in. You're supposed to be the future, and this is what's going on. You have no your fans. It's like, what the heck is going on? It's like one of y'all said it earlier. It's like
I mean,
is your father
he's not. He's not.
instigating these things? Like, I don't. Is he
I
not
don't. I
getting in
don't
your
even know
head?
what excuse to
Is
give
he
that guy
talking to you? Like, I don't know.
because it's not like the pops not around. The niggas around. Yeah.
Yeah, he really does.
His father
I
acts like a
agree
brother.
like 100%. It's like his little
Mm-hmm.
brother, like Ja Morant's little brother.
No, he act like he is.
What I see. I'm not saying yes before.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what I see, it's
Yeah.
like, Oh,
And I don't like
that's right.
disrespecting
Okay.
black fathers
It's like,
like that. Like,
it's
I
like,
don't know if you
it's
saw
like,
it.
I don't
They
like
was living
hearing that.
together, and he bought him a house just down the block,
it's like,
just so they could leave the house.
I didn't even know.
You didn't know? You didn't? I didn't see that video.
I did.
Yeah,
I didn't
they were
know about
living in the
that.
I
house with
didn't
him,
hear that. I didn't hear.
but then he
No,
bought a
I didn't
house
hear
just down the block,
yeah, that's
just so they
right.
could leave the house.
Yeah.
So, cause his mom didn't like people coming in the house too much,
that.
so he bought him the house down the block so he could do his thing.
Yeah,
And now look what he get into.
that's crazy.
Stupid.
That's
Signed a
crazy.
$200 million contract. All right.
I don't get it, man. Like, yeah, I really
No,
hope,
for real.
yo, you
Facts.
gotta do better, man. For real, Ja. You gotta do better or stay
We will
away.
know
If some of these stories are fake, all
later.
right, whatever they're fake. But for whatever is real,
We have
you
10
gotta
minutes
change your
left. Y'all
image
want to get
and
into
get out
Paul
of that.
George comments?
Seriously.
No.
No?
That was the roast the
So
guy. Vic is about to roast. Yo.
we can do that. I'll start. Darrell did a little
Go
something,
I
ahead.
so
was
I'll
like,
start real quick.
yeah, go ahead. No,
All
go ahead.
right,
No, you
so
go ahead. Start.
no, that I thought that
Start.
was amazing. I thought that type of self awareness, and I know Jacob used to think
Yeah.
Paul George was the number one. That was never the
Yeah.
case. And that type of self awareness was amazing. It's not like you're not striving for more. I've seen some people comment on the internet or whatever, like, how are you saying that as a player, as a competitive person? But it's like I don't think Paul George is. I think Paul George is still striving to be the best basketball player he could be. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I mean, as a
Mm-hmm.
player on that level, you have to have some sort of delusion. But at the same
Right.
time, you still need to have some sort of self awareness to where it's like, all right, the evidence
I,
is somewhat out there. I probably need a running partner. I could be a strong number two. I'll still be a great player, still be a potential Hall of Famer, whatever the case may be. But I could be a strong number two to a number one that's off the charts on a whole nother level, whatever the case may be. I think that's dope. I think those comments, like a lot more players in the NBA who think they're full blown number ones, need to start thinking that. Like, because even with someone like Carmelo, you could see in his attitude, he always thought he was that dude. Where's Carmelo now? That's the reason
That's
he's
a
been
good point.
bouncing off from team, whatever the case may be. Same thing with Allen Iverson. He got out the league a lot earlier than he was supposed
can I
to
say?
because it got to a point where like you
Mm-hmm.
aren't that dude no more. You need to just lower those expectations down a bit. Whatever, come to a realization like, all right, how could I be the best team player instead of being that guy or whatever the case may be? So I thought that was dope. Something you don't see from
Yeah.
players a lot to just have that self realization. Like, all right, I'm not the full blown number one who could win a championship, win multiple championships. Let me just accept my role and strive to be the
Yeah.
best player I can be in that role or whatever the case may be. That was dope.
I'll go next. Like, yeah, you guys already know what I said
Go ahead.
earlier, but I have an interesting example. We tend to forget this. If this player didn't do this act of self awareness, it
I
might
know.
have would have
Know where you go
affected
with it.
one of the guys we debate a lot
Mm-hmm.
all the time, Dwayne Wade. Like, if he didn't say, "Yo, I have to
Mm-hmm.
take a step back because LeBron is the guy," if he didn't do that, that
Yeah.
probably would have affected both.
Both their
But matter of
legacies.
fact,
Yeah.
both their legacies.
LeBron's more than
It would have
Wade's.
affected both of them. If he didn't say, if he didn't, yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
would have. For him to do that sacrifice to say, because remember, he was the number one guy coming into Wade County, and
Even the
they
Mm-hmm.
first
lost that final.
finals, it looked
It's
like
sad
Wade
that
was
it
the
took them
number
to,
one.
One
yeah,
for him to.
yeah. It's sad that it took finals lost for him to realize and have a conversation with LeBron and say, "Yo, man, you're the guy." Because I think that was one of the
Yeah.
problems. That was like one of the struggles. Like Dwayne Wade will talk about. Like LeBron was trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out like his place. Like maybe I should
Yeah.
just be the facilitator, and Wade is the guy. You know, because I'm coming to his
Mm-hmm.
territory, and of course, there was a lot of problems, with the decision and him being a villain. There's a lot is going on, and he's trying to make I guess he's trying to like be the bad guy or make sure his teammates like him and all that stuff, or the fans like him, and this is Wade's town and blah blah blah. But for Wade to come out and say that to set the tone, basically telling the organization, yo, he's our guy. Let's build around him. Telling the fans that, and the rest was history.
Yeah.
And I think Wade is the best example of that, of
I
self-aware,
agree with you completely.
and probably
I can't. I couldn't
NBA,
say that
probably in
better.
NBA
So
history when you really think about it.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
About Paul George comments,
Yeah.
I like that he thinks that way. I don't like he said it.
What?
Because I like the way he thinks. I like the fact that he thinks that he knows that internally. But as a player on Paul George's level, you don't say that. First of all, he's like going forward. I think he messed up his money now because I don't think people would look at him as a number one, and if they want to pay him, now that's on
I
his
don't think
personal
so.
level. But however, I want my guy. If he's on that team, I want to know that. I want to at least have the imagination that he thinks that he's a number one. Now that imagination of Paul George being a top guy is gone because he confessed, oh, I need somebody there. So how is the players gonna view it? Like, are they gonna say, oh, we got Paul George, we're okay if Kawhi gets down, or are they gonna say, shoot, we got Paul George, we need more. So I don't like the fact that he came out and said this. I have a big issue with that. Like now I don't think you could view it. Like for example, Kawhi
I
Leonard
mean,
got injured two years
that's
ago when they
fair.
beat the Utah, and they still had Paul George,
Yeah.
and they believed they played like they believed they had a chance of winning that series. If that were to happen now, Kawhi Leonard gets
They
down,
did.
I don't know they go view it that way because I don't think they're gonna believe, oh, Russell Westbrook and Paul George could take me there. I think they're gonna believe, oh, we're done. So that's the
I
issue I
will say
have.
they will say they're done, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's a
Yeah,
that's a fair take, man.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? I agree with what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. My
Yeah.
fault. I didn't mean to
yeah.
cut you.
So Paul George,
I don't
Mm.
think it would like mess up his money organized. Like, I don't think
you
it would
still pay him as a number
mess up
one
his
now.
money
Yeah,
at all.
I don't think it will
Because
mess
they
up his
pay
money.
people
I
that
don't
they
think
damn
so.
well know ain't no number ones all the time. Max money. They pay people they ain't they ain't no goddamn number one all the time.
Yeah, because the thing about the NBA, I think people miss this part of the like the contracts negotiations. Like the NBA have like these. We don't know all the rules, but it seems like we get a glimpse of like what they look at. Like if you have certain stats, or if you play a certain amount of years in the league and you have these stats and accolades, it's like they have this like cap. Like you can't go lower than this amount because of your accolades and because of like your statistics in your career. And like and then or it's basically like that. Like your money's not really affected because it's like the agents know like the range of money you can get, and if a player is astute with their finances, they know what decisions they will make. Like, okay, if I play there, I'll make this amount. All right, cool. I'll be making this money doing other stuff. Because a lot of the things now is like players, from what I gather, after you make that rookie contract, after the rookie contract, and then you get the max deal, it's weird because players now they act in a way as if like once they get that first max deal, after that, they don't really care so much about the money as much anymore, and it varies between different players. Like I'm noticing these players like now they're like, oh, I can play with this person, or I'll make this amount. I mean, I'll make that amount. I can still buy my Rolls Royce. I can still do my thing. I can still do my investments. I can still live my life making this amount. Because before it was always about like the money and people staying, and they stay longer than usual because
Get
the
paid
NBA
more.
did it in a way to incentivize players to stay with their teams to get paid more. But then now that players are like, yo, we don't really care about that. We want to play. Someone want to just play with their friends and win championships doing that. So
to a
it
team.
wouldn't really affect. It wouldn't really affect his money because
I
he's
hope
still a
And
valuable asset
and I think it's based
to most teams. You still
I
sell
think it's also
tickets to
based off
people who don't care about
especially
winning,
players that
and if
makes
he
the
care
all
about
NBA
winning, he
teams,
can play with a
all
winner.
stars and stuff. Once once you make that, your
Yeah,
money
that
is
too.
double, triple.
That too. Yep.
So
Yeah.
be-
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you get
You're
money
getting a
Yeah.
max. You
You
make an
good,
All
man.
NBA team, you're getting a max
You good.
contract. Super max, I think.
first team.
I think you get super max once
before
you
we
make an
end
All
it,
NBA.
Yeah.
is there a number one
Right.
player a person who thinks they're number one, but they're really a number two that you all could think of besides Damian Lillard? Name the guy.
Dave.
Who?
All right.
Ooh, that's
Ja Morant.
Yeah, I agree. Ja Morant.
Ja
Had to
Morant.
say mine.
Ja Morant.
That's crazy.
Yo, Mick, you don't have nobody?
Mick, you don't got nobody?
Ja Morant.
I
I said that with
I
no
got my
hesitation.
guy.
Ja Morant.
I got my
I
guy.
can say another
and
name
it's
too.
he's actually my guy. It's not Ja Morant. I don't like Ja Morant, but you know. But I got my guy he's one of my favorite players.
No
Oh,
way.
Joel Embiid.
Joel is not
that's
number one.
crazy.
Joel Embiid. I'm going there. I don't think you could win a
That's
championship with
crazy.
Joel Embiid
Yeah,
as your number one.
Okay,
He's my
all right.
guy.
All right.
I don't think you can win it.
Topic
I
we touch
don't
on for
think.
Now,
another
let me
day.
ask you this.
I think about the type
No.
of.
So if you
That's
pair,
a
you
good
pair him
one.
with Dave,
I'm gonna
who
go
is the
with
best
Mick.
player?
We got to
I
talk
got
about
Mick. I'm
this
with
next
you
time.
because
Yes, we got
No. Before you go.
Embiid is
Okay,
the best.
all right.
Embiid is
I
the
just
best
to
player,
make
and I
my
don't think
point.
he
player,
win a
but
I just
championship.
wanted to make my point.
I don't think Dame and Embiid win a championship.
it's like
Okay.
But Embiid is the best player on that. To me, I think Embiid's the and that's it.
he is the best.
I
Jacob,
don't think that.
look at Jacob
Yeah,
face.
no, Jason, I'm with you.
No, because
I'm with you in that
I don't
argument
want
about
this to
Dame
die
being the
out.
number one
I
guy
hope,
somewhere. Like,
I hope you all get a chance to see it. We got to wrap it up.
nah. If you pay, I got you. No,
We go talk
I
about this
got a
too.
player.
Say it. Hurry up and say it,
So,
Durant. Hurry up and say it.
Let's get his
Say
player
it. Say
real
it. Hurry
quick,
up.
real quick.
nah, I disagree. I
All
disagree.
right,
All right, yo, pair Dame with Zion.
We
James
out.
don't lose.